Hi and welcome. I'm so glad that you chose to download this free PDF with these 3 steps. My name is Marcus and I work as a life coach, and I would like to talk you through these 3 steps a little bit. So this PDF is about how to live heart-centered in your everyday life. And step number 1, daily connection. That is about getting to know yourself in a deeper sense, getting to know your heart state. And that is a beautiful, beautiful practice that you can do anywhere, anytime, how many times a day you want to. And that could be like, you could do like a meditation. You can be in your home and just, give your plants some water and, you really create this connection with your flowers and be mindful in that situation. It could also be taking a walk in the forest and do that with the intention of really staying present. Start listening and recognize maybe the smell of leaves, of mud, especially this time of year, really beautiful smells in the forest. And also, what do you see? Trees, the leaves, the grass, maybe the birds. You can also hear the birds singing. That is beautiful, beautiful music. And all that it takes to be aware of these things is be present. And also, doesn't require you to be with someone. You can practice this heart-centered state within yourself. And it starts with an intention. And to me, my intention through the years has been, my intention is to get a closer and deeper connection within my heart. And that state I want to live during the day. My situations, the people I meet. It's a beautiful, beautiful practice. And you can also expand this, number 1, with a list of maybe 10 things that you love to do and where you also have a really high focus or high present while doing it. For me, it could be like when I do like music, when I write music or when I perform on stage, I'm so centered and I'm so aligned, and I'm also heart-centered because I love making music and I love performing music. So that's when I'm in my essence. So what is your essence and what do you do when you are in your essence? Well, that's step number 1, to get to know yourself better in a deeper way and how to be in your heart. Okay, step number 2 is about identifying states. When I'm in or out connection. And what do I mean by that? Well, the more you practice being in your heart and being in your heart space, when you're heart-centered, you will get familiar with that space. And that is like a warm feeling when you're in connection, you are in your highest self-value, in your highest self-love, and you feel you don't need to add a bunch of things to feel present or happy. And the opposite, when you're not in connection, then you maybe are in your mind calculating a lot of pros and cons, and what should I do next? What is the best strategy? What do I need to fill up my life more? An example of that could be like if I'm thinking about consuming things, or now I want to go to a restaurant again, and I want to buy a coffee at Starbucks again, then I'm maybe outsourcing my well-being in external things. As for when I buy things or when I want to feed myself in a restaurant or a cafe, which is nice, but it's also expensive. And sometimes it's more about I want to come back to my heart space. That's what my system, what my body, what my soul tells me. And sometimes when I interpret that feeling, I do it in an external way. I want to find something in my external, as in shops and restaurants, for example. And then I often caught myself, okay, now I'm like in my mind, for example, or I'm out of my heart space. To start as quickly as possible, recognize those 2 states could be such a great key for you to find out how you can live a heart-centered life. Because a lot of us, including me, chasing around life for fulfillment, for happiness, and we look outside ourselves. But all we need to do is actually turn our aim inside. Or focus inside, because in our heart space we doesn't need anything, because we are love, we are loved, we find self-value because we are this self-value in our own essence. So faster you can identify that you're out of your heart space, the faster you can come back to your heart space. So that's step number 2. And then step number 3, being present and living a heart-centered life. That is actually the most beautiful way to live life, in my opinion. And what does that mean? Well, that means to me that I can take my heart-centered state and live that throughout the day in all my experiences. When I'm in my house, when I go out, when I meet people, when I go to work, I'm in my heart space. Then if I'm strolling around in the city center, for example, there's a lot of temptations. Oh, come and buy this, come into this restaurant, come into this cafe shop. And when I'm heart-centered, I can look at these stores and shops and restaurants and think, oh, such a beautiful thing. We have so many options in the city, but I don't need to go into the stores and buy something. I'm happy anyway. And that's a beautiful thing. That's maybe a more softer or easier way to stay heart-centered. For example, if a person comes up to you with a charge, if maybe someone comes to you and they're angry for something, maybe you did something wrong, maybe you didn't do something someone else expected of you, it doesn't matter. If a person comes with you with a charge, it could be that you get triggered. Then you can actually make a choice if you're in a heart-centered state. For example, if I'm in a heart-centered space and the person comes with me with a charge and, oh, okay, this person is angry and that triggers me. I get angry too. But in my heart space, I get some extra time to actually choose what kind of reaction I want to respond with. So if I'm heart-centered, I can be mindful a couple of seconds. Okay, now I'm angry. I can see that I'm as a response to this person's charge towards me. But then I can sit with that anger. I don't need to react from it. I can accept my anger and I can stay in my heart space where I am loved, where I have a high self-value. And from there, I can see on this person with empathy and compassion. And then I can see maybe that this person's charge has nothing to do with me. This is just a person that wants to get this energy out of him or her system. So then I can respond from a more loving way. And I also don't need to take responsibility for this person's feeling. Or I don't need to be responsible to getting this person into a better state. That's the other person's job. So I can stay heart-centered, I can stay balanced, and I can actually listen to this person. This person maybe need to say a lot of things before this energy within him or her has gone the whole way through. And that's a beautiful thing. And I don't need to solve anything of what this person's saying. So when I sense that this person has said all the words, there's nothing more to say, then I can say, well, thank you for sharing this. Is it something more you want to add? And if this person thinks, yeah, there is actually something more, then you listen to that too, in your heart space. And once again, when this person is finished talking, then I can say, well, in this moment right now, what do you need? You don't need to offer a solution. You don't need to react angry. You don't need to respond to what this person actually are saying, because many times this is just energy that wants to come through the system. But you can be there as a fellow man or fellow woman, another person. And many times when I ask this, the person says, well, I need a hug. Yeah, come on, let's hug. And maybe that's all to it. And me being able to do that, the key is for me to be heart-centered. And once again, if I do these 3 steps, I practice my daily heart connection. So I learn how to navigate, and I learn more about me. How do I feel in this heart space? And then I'm identifying my heart space and when I'm out of connection. In my heart space, out of my heart space. Or the second I feel, okay, now I'm out of connection. What can I then do to come back to my heart space? And that I will cover in the next video. So when I'm in this heart space and someone comes with a trigger, then I can be in my heart space and operate from there. And it's actually not much that needs to be said in those situations. Let the other person talk, and after this person is finished, what do you need? And maybe it's a good start from having a normal, relaxed, loving conversation. So, thank you for watching this, and thank you for downloading it. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.